Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again. Got a big project this time. It's a 48 inch by 48 inch canvas, and I'm going to be drawing / painting a grizzly bear on it. It's going to be a close-up portrait style, and I'm going to be using that mixed media process that I do with where I use both acrylic and charcoal on the piece. So I'm going to be starting out with the acrylic wash. I'm going to go mix up that base color. It's going to take quite a bit of paint to cover this, but I'm going to get started on it right now. Okay, I think we got a pretty good background to work off of here. It's a little different. I'm only going to do one coat on this one because I want to keep it a little bit lighter. But yeah, that should dry up and look really cool. Be a good base to start from. So I'll let that dry and then we'll be back to spread some charcoal powder on it. Okay, I think that does it for the sketch. That's a big bear. It's going to be pretty cool. It's coming along good. I got the proportions pretty well laid out. It's going to be cool. So now I'm going to start working with my kneaded eraser and pulling out the highlights. And I'll bring the camera in a little closer so you can see some of the work I'm doing. Okay, that'll do it for the first layer of charcoal. It was a lot of work. Big old bear, but I'm really happy with it. I think it's looking pretty cool. Next, I'll spray it with some acetone and then some workable fixative, and then hit it again with another layer of charcoal to add a little contrast, a little more depth to it. Okay, so that does it for the first layer. Got the charcoal on, pulled out all the highlights, sprayed it with acetone, sprayed it with a workable fixative. Now I'm ready for the next step. Now normally this is where I'd put a second layer of charcoal on. However, I think I've decided this time I'm going to try to do a cool color wash in the shadow areas before I do the second layer. It's a little bit out of order from what I've done in the past, but I'm going to give it a shot and see how it turns out. So cross your fingers. All right, I actually think that worked out really well. I liked it better doing the cool color wash first before the second layer of charcoal. Just seemed like it went down better, and I think the charcoal is going to go on top of it a little easier as well. So it's a subtle look, but I really love the little effects that it has in it. It might even be kind of hard to see on the camera. Maybe I'll come in and get a closer look. But yeah, it just has some really cool effects when it mixes with the background color and with the charcoal. Yeah, just a little closer view. You see the textures in there. Some of the colors that it brings out. I really like it. So now on to the next step with doing the second layer of charcoal. Using a combination of my vine charcoal and then a blending stump that I'll dip into the charcoal powder. All right, so here's where I'm at with this now. I've gone through and hit it with 2 more layers of charcoal, and in between each layer I sprayed it with acetone and then followed it up with the workable fixative. Just building up those layers, deepening the shadows and creating more and more depth. Now it's time to go back in with some acrylic paint and hit the highlights. And I'll go through one pass on it, and then I'll do some glazing over the highlights to kind of tone them down a little bit and bring that consistency back. I'll hit it with the glaze that matches the background color. And then I'll go through and hit the highlights one more time, just hitting the really, really bright spots, and that'll just give it a real nice three-dimensional look. So I went through and painted all the highlights with the white acrylic. And now all I'm doing is taking that same color that I used for the original wash background, and I'm just glazing over the top of the white. And you can see the difference over here where it's kind of toned it down and brought it back into that same color tone. And I'm just working my way across this way to finish the rest of this up. It's a fun part of the process because it's real simple. Just got a larger, soft brush. Just glazing right over top of it. Just finished the glaze, getting super close on this. Last step, like I mentioned, I'm gonna go through and just hit the brightest areas of the highlights just to make those pop a little more. And then I think we'll be pretty well done. He's coming alive. It's looking good. Well, I think it's done. I'll probably let it sit for a little bit and come back to it and review it and see if there's any touching up that I need to do. But I think it's in pretty good shape. I really like it. This was a big project. But it was a lot of fun too. So this original is sold, but I will have prints of it available soon on my website, joelpilcherart.com. Go check it out. Lots of other prints available there for purchase as well. And again, be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you enjoyed it. Let me know. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next one.